is the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd, and they're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Now Burrow on first down. To Mixon on the check down. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Throwing again on second down. Burrow. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
On third down, Burrow. All right, rifles one, and it's going to be intercepted. John Johnson with the INT, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game. Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it? One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Following the interception, Mayfield drops it off for Chubb. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Second and 6.
Here's Mayfield. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On third down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Bengals drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now Joe Mixon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Still 9 remaining on second down.
11.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
First carry for Nick Chubb. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Browns 10, Bengals nothing.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Phillips now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Burrow now off the bootleg. His throw incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now Burrow. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. It's Logan Wilson there to bring him down. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
From the 36, Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield. He completes it to Beckham. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Mayfield with it once more. He finds his target, Beckham. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Mayfield looks to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. McLaughlin for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0.
Makes the score Browns 17, Bengals nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Yeah, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 18. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. John Johnson with the INT. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Phillips now from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. He finds his running back, Mixon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
A 5-yard gain on the play. And the Bengals first down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. First down. Here's Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Going for it all. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. 2nd down coming up. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Burrow. And his throw here's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Another try for Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Evan McPherson now for the PAT. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Evan McPherson for the extra point. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7.
Makes the score Browns 24, Bengals 7. Evan McPherson to kick off.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw, Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, you know, this offense has had their way for the most part here in this first half, but that time, maybe they got a little greedy.
Well, it is hard to blame them, isn't it? Because like they said back in the 1980s, greed can be good. Stick with what's been working. But that time, I think he got a little bit too much air under that one, and it turned into a turnover that was much needed by that defense.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Mayfield now. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Can. Scott. 11 MT paint. 11 MT paint.
Watch 36 tonight.
11 mighty. 11 mighty.
Mike 36. Mike 36.
Scott.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he'll be out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in, and it made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you wanted to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. Looks for Beckham again. This time he finds him. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. It's Mayfield. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
And Mayfield again with the interception, his third.
Ricardo Allen with a pick. And the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
42 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Can.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Able to find Higgins.
Running right through it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
Mixon with a first down carry. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Now it's Burrow. Airing one out for Boyd. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, it's Mixon. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
It's 3rd down and goal to go.
Here we go.
36 to Mike.
Here we go. Right 80. Right on. 11, 11, 11. 12, 12, 12.
Here's Mixon. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. 4th quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good.
36 to Mike.
11, 11, 11.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. McPherson on for the point after. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield.
He'll find Schwartz, complete right side.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On third down, Mayfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
76 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Burrow will throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, number 28, Mike, he's coming, check in. I'm here all day.
11.
Mike 28, run!
11.
Mike 28, watch the run.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
That's complete to Chase.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get your reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
11. 11 MT paint. 11 MT paint.
Hey, alert 3.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
2nd and 10.
11.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
Now Burrow.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. And that'll set them back 5. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Burrow. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Here's Baker. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Mayfield.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Now Mayfield. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Mayfield to throw.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. This is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Let's go, defense.
Throwing, Burrow.
Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. That catch good for only a couple.
Well, that answers the question in my head. They're going to go for the win right now.
I think you're absolutely right. They're not content with going to OT.
To throw, Burrow.
Able to shake him off. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Incomplete pass there is probably the best scenario going, because if he catches the football, clock's probably going to run out in that situation.
Here's Burrow.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
Phillips now from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee, as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And some room to roam now. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
101 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. It's Mixon on the counter. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, they'll spot him right in midfield at the 50.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
11 MT, 11 MT.
On 1st down, Mixon.
Greg Newsome up to make the stop.
They've had some success here in overtime with this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to him.
On second down now, Mixon. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Third and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. First throw in overtime now for Burrow. Open man is Higgins. And some space here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts him in field goal range, but let's face it. They don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? Because I'm feeling it. All right, I've got the sweaty palms here with each play because of the enormity of what's going on. Each play means so much in overtime, and they're handling it well as this drive continues.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
128 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And this is no good. Close. But he misses just left of the upright. And that changes everything here in OT. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. The first throw in overtime for Mayfield now. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
So into overtime and all the way to the end of overtime, they have a chance to win it. Couldn't convert on the field goal, and we end in the very rare tie.
Don't see it very often. We did discuss it as we began overtime that because it's a regular season game, we're going to play that last quarter. And if no one scores or however, if it finishes in a tie, that's it. But boy, how bad do you feel for him? The opportunity to win it with a field goal at the end, and it doesn't go through the pipes.